It is 10:23 on what is today? The 6th? No. I lose track of days. It's the 6th. I just dropped off a coil here at this place where they take steel. I'm in Cleveland, Ohio. And it's quite the journey because I took in order to conserve miles, because I was given very little the amount of miles I was given to get to where I'm at right now and what it took to get here from where I picked up did not match up. So I was having to struggle to shorten my miles. And but anyway, I ended up taking a lot of back roads, which was fine, because I had already had a pre-plan on my way here, and I didn't have to, I guess, rush, in the sense that I had the luxury of taking the most direct route, which may consume more time but save on miles. And I do that in order to minimize my out of route, because they give you a set, this is what the average miles are, I guess, that it should take to do this load assignment. Anyway, I don't want to even get into that. But anyway, I was able to take my time because the appointment I have now I don't pick up until I have a 12 o'clock appointment, and they don't want you there earlier than 1/2 hour. So it's 10:25 right now, so I basically have an hour before I can even show up. And so I'm in Cleveland, and below that little arrow that represents my truck, as soon as it focuses, this will become more clear what I'm trying to explain. So we'll just pause right here and wait for the camera to decide to do its job, because it's looking at the screen right here, and it's got to decide, hey, that's what I want to focus on. So right next to my the arrow that represents my truck is the number 1 in a circle. That's how far I have to travel. It's about 9 miles from here, so I don't have far to go. And then once I pick that up, I go to Bowling Green, Kentucky. It's almost a straight shot, mostly highway, and it's about the perfect amount of miles, because right now it says in order to do the entire trip, it's 458 miles according to my GPS, and my load assignment gives me 459, so I might actually beat it by a mile, which is great. That helps out on my percentages. Anyway, I am picking up, from what I understand, coiled rod, and right now I'm just parked in a little dirt lot at this facility where I dropped off. And you see that truck is empty, and when I came in, you go along this road, and there's a door on the side over there that you check in at, and they tell you where to go. And it was pretty simple. There's nothing. It was cold out, which is the way I like it, and it's different because I will travel from here, where it's like 30-something degrees, and then I'll go to Bowling Green, Kentucky, where we'll see how warm it gets. So I'm pretty sure I'm getting this pre-plan has changed like 3 times. I started out with getting coiled rod, and then they did a pre-plan change where then it switched to a coil, and then so that's what my last pre-plan load assignment was. And then when I got done unloading and sent in all my notifications, I got my next load assignment, which went back to coiled rod. So it's still the same shipper and receiver, same times. Everything's the same except for what I'm picking up. Picking what I pick up, it doesn't really matter to me. I don't know. I guess there's some people that may be picky about what they pick up, but I haul whatever they put on my truck. My job is to secure it down and get it there safely. But and it may help you to know what you're getting as far as how to mentally prepare for how you're going to prepare the deck of your trailer. But there are so many times where you show up expecting one thing, and it's like I'm going to be getting coiled rod, but I don't know how they want to have it loaded. I have my way, but they may have, if they're shipping tons of coiled rod, they may just, as I pull up with, in many places, they tell you where to put stuff on how they're going to load this, and then it's up to us to secure it. And I think there's probably some truck drivers that may try to encourage a different loading procedure. Sometimes that can work. They're willing to work with truck drivers, but you'll get to some locations where they say, no, this is the way we do it. If you don't like it, you can leave. We'll get another trucking company to do it. So, I mean, I've never run into that, but I mean, I imagine that's kind of what it's like at some of these places, because they, even though you're, I won't even get into it. Sorry, I brought it up. But anyway, those are the kind of things you have to worry about. This is a little complex where the road right here on this end, there's no sign. What I found out today, on this end, see, normally I would, stop and restart my video and cut that little segment out, but why? Right where that truck is crossing the road right now, if you were to turn right and proceed down the road, there's no signs that I noticed that limit the weight of your truck. But on the far end, where you turn in onto that road, there's a sign that says maximum weight 4 tons. So it's kind of baffling that they would discourage trucks from coming in on one side but completely allow them to go the other way. It doesn't make sense to me. But those are the kind of things you run into where you may be told to do one thing. Somebody's going to talk to me. The individual that actually works here came in, and he came and talked to me. There was another truck that was parked here, pointed out. So when I came in, I came in from here and did a little U-turn in this parking this little dirt lot, because I wanted to be lined up like the other truck. Come to find out, he encouraged me. He says, when you leave, you can stay here as long as you want, but don't go out that way. That is the truck entrance. The truck exit is that way. So I didn't see any signs that said that, but those are another example of the things you have to, I guess, I want to say deal with, but I don't know, it has such a negative connotation to it. But it's kind of some of the obstacles you will have the challenge of meeting every day, because every place is different, and I'm surprised at how many places expect you, or I shouldn't say expect, but are actually surprised when you don't know their loading or unloading procedures. And it's like when I picked up this coil to there is a procedure to follow, and the way you can best accomplish the procedures that they require is by reading the signs. Usually many companies have lots of signs for you to read that explain the procedures of what you need to do, when you need to do it, step-by-step process. I love that, because that tells me exactly what I need to do so nobody's upset. Well, yesterday, when I picked this coil up yesterday that I dropped off today, apparently he was upset, because he says, you see that pen there? That's for you to sign your paperwork. I'm looking all over the place. I didn't see anything that said, hey, driver, sign this particular piece, because we're not always required to sign paperwork. Some places require us to sign it so they can have a copy of it. Some don't. And it's like, I just do it, I'm told. And sometimes I find out after they are upset at me that I was supposed to do something. But I've gotten past the point of being worried about those kind of things. I just get back in my truck and laugh, because it's it's like, if this is a common thing that you want drivers to do, maybe you should put a sign up saying, hey, put your paperwork here, sign it, and go sit in your truck. We got you. Because that's basically what it was, is put your paperwork on this spot that marks, the door that I was at. And that's what I did. And but apparently before they can load me, I need to actually sign the paper. I think that stuff's hilarious that these people get upset about these things. Because if I was the crane operator that was doing the loading, because they're walking on the floor, I would have. If I wanted the drivers to sign, put their paperwork there and sign it, I'd have a little sign made up that I'd make up myself and say, "Hey, drivers, please place your paperwork in the appropriate door that you're in, and sign your paperwork, and then I will load you." Because if you have it sounds like he must have a hard time repeatedly telling drivers to do this kind of thing, and I felt bad for him and wanted to make the suggestion, but that can often get you in trouble. So I didn't. I says, well, this is something you're going to have to live with and deal with for the rest of your steel working career if you don't change it yourself. If there's things you don't like, make changes. Proceed, seek ways to make it better. It's, why keep hitting your head against the wall and expecting the wall to fall down when it's really your head that's going to cave in? So that's the way I always did it. I'd show up at places in the Air Force and say, okay, this is your section you're going to run. and I would ask questions right away. Hey, why don't we do it this, why haven't we made this improvement, blah, 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 because I'd see something. I said, is there a reason why we do it this way? Have we thought, I'd present an idea and they say, yeah, we've thought of that, but so-and-so didn't like it, blah, 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 blah. And I'd be like, oh, okay. And then I'd just make the change. I'd make the change, make the improvement, and then get all the accolades. So that's the way you get. Sometimes you gotta. I don't want to encourage. That may sound bad, yeah. But sometimes you got to take a look at common sense and logic and be like, okay, and then go with the common sense and logic, and hope for the best. Do what is right. Let the consequences follow. And that's the way I live my life, and I've been blessed for it immensely. Life is good for me and my family, and I am grateful for that. And so that's my philosophy. That's the way I live my life, and I'm happy with whatever the consequences are. So anyway, enough chatting for now. We'll see what happens.